Wanting to read this excerpt from a website. It's called Carlini Institute, and it is about the solar flares that are occurring. And I found it rather interesting because the gripe that most people are having is that they feel sick and that their bodies are hurting and whatnot. And the odd thing is, when these things started to kick up, I began to feel better. So, um, there's a lot of things that are starting to dawn on me concerning what's going on in the world right now. But let me just read this and then I'll comment on it. Where did I want to start? One of the best known prophecies predictions of our Mayan elders is the message of a changing paradigm of our era. In the words of the Maya, it is said that we are now in a time of change and conflict. The change is coming from the outside in the way of weather, natural phenomena, celestial disturbance, sun flares, and man made self inflicted trauma. The conflict comes from the inside in a way of personal challenge, grief, bewilderment, depression, anxiety, and fear. It is said that we are at the crossroads. I won't argue with that. I'll argue with the grief, the bewilderment, the depression, the anxiety, and the fear. Because those are all the things that I felt prior to coming into the knowledge of who I am as an Israelite. And these are all the things that were the yoke around my neck prior to understanding who the Most High is and how we are to serve Him, and as Israelites, what our duty is in this world. All those things left me, but apparently they're latching on to certain people in the world at this time because of what the world's doing, the world that the Most High created. What it's doing at this very time is making people sick and crazy, which is interesting because the Israelites are the ones that were sick and crazy prior because of the curses that were put on them. Deuteronomy 28 by the Most High. Now that paradigm shifting to where we're coming out of our craziness and the rest of the world is going into that state of bewilderment, depression, anxiety, and fear, and grief, and personal challenge. They're going through the things that we as Israelites, black Israelites, have gone through. And that would explain why a lot of us are feeling better than we've ever felt our entire lives. We're feeling like we did when we were children. And it explains why there's a lot of sisters going natural all of a sudden because of whatever the Most High placed in us. What the world's doing right now, it's activating, it's removing something. It's pulling us, like it's stretching us and it's making us new again. And it is a yoke on the neck of the others. Now, that would mean that scientifically speaking, there is a difference in our genetic makeup, our blood, or our something that's in our blood that reacts with the magnetic fields of the earth is completely different than these other set of people because when we're on the whole, when we're ill, they're well, and when they're well, we're ill, and when we're never on the same because our whatever we're comprised of, the earth reacts different with us. But that's one thing I've been noticing. It says a time of choosing a new path, deciding on a new self and community direction, venturing into the unknown, finding our true identity of being. Others will choose to stay on the same road, stay with the familiar, and place great effort to maintain predictability. Okay, that sounds like somebody that has bought into this new age movement that is being set up for people that are meant to receive the mark of the beast fall prey to. So, so it seems that the people that are experiencing this grief and depression and anxiety and fear right about now are under a certain delusion of finding their true identity of being, and I think they think they're about to ascend somewhere. Um, at any rate, uh, there appears to be a direct connection between the sun's solar storms and human biological effect, especially on M-class solar flare. The conduit which facilitates the charged particles from the sun to human disturbance is the very same conduit which steers Earth's weather through the magnetic field on Earth and also through the magnetic fields around humans. So that kind of goes with what I was saying, that there's something in Israelite blood is completely different than the others, and this is how this is how the Most High can pull us out of a place. This is how we can all think with the same mind. This is how, when it says wherever we're scattered in the earth, that He would retrieve us. This is how. It's not magic. There's no magic to it. It's very, very real. And if the Earth is a magnetic field, that it's basically a magnetic field, and we're magnetic beings, then it's fair to say that that this pole shift thing that everyone's scared of, it's probably to Israel's benefit. But continuing on, it says solar flares can cause us to be nervous, anxious, worrisome, jittery, dizzy, shaky, irritable, lethargic, exhausted, have short-term memory problems and heart palpitations, feel nauseous, queasy, and have prolonged head pressure and headaches. I felt like this prior to coming into the truth. Before Yah washed me of my sins, that's how I felt before. And I don't feel like that anymore. But apparently there's people that are beginning to feel like that. The person goes on to say, I've also experienced these symptoms myself, as have many of my clients. Scientists don't seem to be addressing this, but we all know it is real and we are experiencing it firsthand. Again, this is called the Carlini Institute for Therapy, Research, and Transpersonal Education. And you can read this person's article. It's www.carlini-institute.com/how_recent_solar_flares_r_affecting_us. All right. Shalom.